What's going on, Jet fans? As always, I'm Pat, and this is JetCast. It is Week 6. We got the Eagles coming into MetLife Stadium, and while they are undefeated, are they the unstoppable juggernaut that everybody is making them out to be? I'm not totally sold. Their current resume thus far indicates that their record may not be what we think it is. So, 3 of their last 5 games have been incredibly close to mediocre, let's just call it as it is, bad football teams. And that would be the Patriots, the Vikings, and I would say the Commanders. In Week 1, they only beat the Patriots by 5 points. And this is the same Patriots team that was able to beat us in Week 3. They're still a very bad football team and have been outscored 72-3 in their last 2 games. Don't get me wrong. The Eagles are a very good football team, and they have some of the best position groups in the league. The Jets are still capable of beating this football team, and their ability to do so is going to come down to some key position groups. Okay, so first and foremost, we have to talk about the Eagles' offensive line. The best matchup of the day is going to be Robert Saleh's favorite one, and that's the trenches. The Eagles have, without a doubt, the best offensive line in football, and if the Jets have any shot in winning this game, they're going to need to find a way to beat an offensive line that most teams fail to beat. Let's face it, this is not an easy task. Lane Johnson and Jason Kelce haven't given up a single sack in 2 seasons. But you know who they haven't gone up against in the last 2 seasons? Bryce Huff, Quinnen Williams, and Jermaine Johnson. These guys have to get to the quarterback on Sunday if we have any chance. If Bryce Huff is able to beat Lane Johnson for a sack, Joe Douglas better have an extension ready for him Monday morning, because otherwise someone else is going to pay this guy some big money in the offseason. I think the second best positional matchup this weekend will be the Jets secondary against A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, and Dallas Goedert. I have some definite concerns about this matchup heading into the weekend, with DJ Reed remaining limited at practice through Thursday. While he should be good to go come Sunday, having him miss this much practice before such a big game is a big concern. And this is not the Denver receiving corps, okay? If he's not up to speed, this could really be disastrous. Pressure from the defensive line may come at a premium against the Eagles' offensive line, which means that the defensive backs, Sauce and Reed, and Michael Carter II, are going to have a hard time holding up in coverage. Thus far, the Jets' defense has been able to pretty much neutralize 2 of the best quarterbacks in the league, Josh Allen and Mahomes, and they have to do it again against Hurts, because I don't think that our DB group is going to be able to hold up or cover for an extended amount of time. Another thing that I want to see the Jets do is be able to keep Jalen Hurts in the pocket and not have him scramble. We had a problem with that with Russell Wilson in the first half of the Denver game, but then they came out in the second half, they made their adjustments, and they were able to keep Russell Wilson in the pocket. While that is a good thing come this coming week, it will put more pressure on those DBs to cover for longer if you're forcing Hurts to now drop back and pass and not giving him the opportunity to try and scramble out and make a play. Okay, so now let's flip it to the other side of the ball, right? We got the Eagles' defensive line going up against our subpar offensive line. Now, it was okay the last few weeks, but now we've lost AVT, and you have to think that they're going to put Max Mitchell in to replace him. So now we're playing at a disadvantage because now you have on our right side a rookie in Tippmann and a second-year player in Max Mitchell, most likely Max Mitchell, who didn't even play a full season last year. This injury to AVT could not have come at a worse time. Zach Wilson was historically poor when he had pressure in his face. And this defensive line is as good as anyone in the NFL in getting to the quarterback. Similar to our defensive line, the Eagles' defensive line just needs one of their many pass rushers to get going, and it could be a long day for Zach. Howie Roseman, the GM for the Eagles, has done a fantastic job in free agency and the draft in building up and maintaining this defense. In order for us to beat this Eagles defense, we're going to need to see the same version of Zach that we saw against the Chiefs. He's got to be decisive, and he cannot be afraid of making a mistake. If Zach holds on to the ball for too long, he's going to have Jalen Carter, Hassan Reddick, or Josh Sweat coming right down the barrel at him. And we all know what what happens to Zach when he's got pressure like that. It's going to be up to Hackett, and it's going to be up to Zach himself to get that ball out quickly. And I hope that Hackett will have some sort of game plan in place to get the ball out of Zach's hands quickly. In addition to their relentless pass rush, the Eagles are very good against the run. So Breece Hall is definitely going to have trouble getting going. But we cannot just abandon the run. Our offense is very predicated on the run and predicated off of those play actions. So I think they need to run enough just to keep the Eagles honest, but I don't expect Breece Hall to have a huge day. I think if they're going to win this game, it's going to be on Zach's shoulders, but the running game has to at least keep those linebackers honest. Now, talking about the Eagles' secondary, it has certainly taken a step back from last season, and it's actually in the lower statistical ranking in secondaries in the league, shockingly enough. Darius Slay did not participate in Wednesday or Thursday's practice. His status for Sunday is unknown. Darius Slay is still a top talent at corner, and if he is able to play, I can see him playing across Garrett Wilson and following Garrett around, considering he is our best wide receiver. Quickly, going back to the defensive line, Jalen Carter was also on the injury list. So we're going to see, I don't know his status for Sunday, but again, that would be a plus for us if Darius Slay and Jalen Carter are both not in this game. Even with Darius Slay active, though, Alan Lazard and our tight ends should be able to get open, considering that there really isn't a cornerback opposite Slay that would be able to cover the other side of the field. Again, that is if Slay is actually playing. Look, guys, at the end of the day, I think this game comes down to our defense and not only having that second half dominance, but being able to take that second half dominance and have it for a full 60 minutes. We can't get behind the 8 ball again and be down 17-0, 20-0 going into the half. I just think if that happens, there's no chance in hell we're going to be able to even sniff a win in this game. It's also on Zach Wilson's shoulders. The cornerbacks and the DBs of the Eagles are not good outside of Darius Slay, who may not even be playing. So it's going to be on Zach's shoulders to throw the ball decisively, stand tall in the pocket, and deliver the ball where it needs to go. And then again, the defense needs to step up. Look, we've never beaten the Eagles. I think we're 0-12 as a franchise. But what a way to break that streak and then beating them at home to go 3-3 into the bye. Let's hope so.